You don't have any problems. I know that may not make sense to you, or you might not believe it, but I happen to know that it is true. You don't have any problems. All you have are opportunities to evolve, to expand, and become more of yourself. That's what we all have, and that's what we are given when we come into this world. But at times we will find different ways of developing that, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. But I really wanted to put this out there as I'm making changes in my life, and I want you to understand what's probably happening in your life and our world as well, because I do understand that. But there's a message that I received on October 15th of last year, and I'm going to read that one today because it will make more sense to you now. Because what happens is I receive information, and I've been doing this for a while, and I'm going to explain all of that from Wilhelm, my guides, as many people know. And we do things in this world in a different way. But consciousness is one that we all have, and that's actually all that we have. We don't experience ourselves, the world, or anything except through our consciousness. But we must understand that it's also been formed in different ways. And when you can understand how yours was formed and what you're meant to do with it, then you live this really great life and you actually understand that you never have any problems. You're given opportunities to become great. You just decide if you're going to do that. We don't always do that. I didn't do that many times in my life, and I haven't done it recently, which is why I'm talking about this now, because we're all supposed to move to another level of our lives because it's within every single person. It's just that sometimes we don't believe that. We don't believe ourselves. And I didn't believe what I could have done. And now I'm going to be 73 in a couple of weeks, and 74, I should say. Wow. And that will never make sense to anyone when I put out my full story of what I've moved through. This is why I know that you don't have any problems. But I'm going to read this message to you because it will make a lot of sense and it'll help explain this. October 15th, 2023. You are different and the same. That statement is one we have given you repeatedly, but it is also one that you come to understand and accept individually and eventually collectively. It has been the most significant dilemma in your life and world, and you use your consciousness to accept it for yourself. And in that moment, you discover your life purpose and you can provide that information to others, for that is how you evolve in your life, and then the world follows suit. That awareness comes to you using your linear time. But we are not that restricted and pointed out your hypocrisy 3 years ago. It is that you are told you hold all power and simultaneously deny you possess it. That behavior allows you and your world to remain in chaos. But this restructuring could have you resolve your inner conflict. Here is a portion of that message, and if you combine it with our live talk yesterday, you will be further in your evolution and that of your planet. So, October 15th, 2020. Roger lived a life with more illnesses and physical difficulties than most and has somehow managed to move through them all despite his chronological age. Why would he not speak on this? Now you understand the hypocrisy of which we spoke. You each have it, as does your world. But the good news is your current restructuring is causing you and the world to adjust, as Roger is now. Roger will release his online program, and he wants it to provide others with the tools to reach a state of empowerment in their lives, which cannot occur if you disown any part of yourself. We are whispering to you and the United States. Yes, we are creative. That was the message. And what it was saying is that, yeah, I understood what was going on, but I was holding back. I wasn't doing it because believing ourselves and becoming vulnerable is really challenging, especially when you create something new. but this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm giving to the world because I know what is happening. When we move through a great change in our world, it's an evolutionary change. It brings up all our worst qualities at first. That's for us individually and then our world collectively. So, all the things that we have seen that are not helpful for us living great lives, meaning anger, hatred of ourselves and of others, but then these generational beliefs, because we all have them. I've been speaking about that for the last several years, and I've written several articles, which you can find on my website in rogerburnley.com, and you can read them all. But what I'm saying is that is what is happening in our world. It's global and it's focused a lot more in the United States. And I did a video talking about that and why it was happening, why we can understand the energies that were changing because of the planet Pluto. That's a whole nother story. But I did uh, put that in one of the videos as well because I want you to understand. But this is the information I'm going to be speaking about when I go to Gaia this next weekend for the channeling conference because I'm talking about planetary ascension. And I was given work that could cause any person to become who they're meant to be, to become their best selves. And yes, I've received a message on your birthday if I were to meet you. And I did that in 2012. These are all things that we couldn't possibly understand or accept. I couldn't do that until it became real. And then the other thing I want people to understand, yes, that is I have healed things that people don't couldn't accept. But it came through receiving this work. It came through everything else that I've lived as well. However, this work is what has done it, and then for everyone else, because I didn't even start putting it out until 2021. When it said 2020, I was working on it. You may have been working on something for a long time as well. And then it comes to your awareness, and then, wow, this is what I have. I'm saying this because I resisted even being the mystic or the sage or the prophet. I wasn't going to talk about it. Now I'm going to be on stage in front of um, many, many people, let's just say. But I love that so much. Now, what I did before, and I'm total transparency here. I held back because I knew that I could answer anyone's question, but I didn't want to be overwhelmed. I didn't want to have everyone come to me because it's a little confronting. But now I have a way to do it because my program, I can take anyone. But the only thing I'm doing, I'm saying this now, for the next few days, I can only take 5 new people because what I'm doing is when I meet those 5 people, I'm giving you a private meeting. You can use it for whatever if you want a channeling or just a private meeting. Because see, when I meet with you, then I know exactly what's going on for you, where you're meant to go, where you may be stuck, and what would be the best path for you. And I'll know that when I see your birthday message. I know that when I meet you. That's what happens. And then what you go on and you start living this really great life. And as that message said, you start giving that back to others. There's no single person born who doesn't have this worth and value within them. They may have just been thinking about it in a different way. And I know that because I've experienced it for the last 35 years of coaching people. So I know that. And only thing that happens is that you just become afraid of yourself. I know I did that because it's in our consciousness that we have to move into, and that's in the unknown, which is why the work that I have done is about consciousness. That's all that it is. Several years ago, you might have seen a video that I did, but many people would not have maybe understood that. But I said I had the most valuable thing anyone could want because it was about gaining control of your consciousness so that you can direct your life and become the self-empowered person. And that's what I'm doing because that's what I'm going to be speaking on when I go to Colorado at the end of the week. But it's what I'm always going to be speaking on because the rest of my life is completing this work because I have so much of it. You have something to bring to the world that's within you, which is why you don't have any problems. You just have to decide that you're going to re-examine everything and find a way to do that. Now, my work does that, so I invite you to look at it and you can join. And if you join in the next few days, if you're one of the 5 people, I will meet with you. However, just know if I never see you again, if you never hear from me, I need you to understand you have worth and value within you, and it's meant to be in the world because that's why you were born. And if you don't believe that, it's just because you've talked yourself out of it or someone else did it for you. That is all. Thank you for being here. Please share this video with others and subscribe to the channel if it's your first time being here. But decide to become your best self. See you soon.